Hey everyone, let's look at the demand and supply questions. The first one is telling me the downward slope of the demand curve illustrates the pattern as this will be as price rises, quantity demanded decreases. This is the law of demand that tells me that price and quantity demanded are inversely related. When price is increasing, quantity demanded is going down. Okay. So basically this price is the cause and increase in price is the cause and fall in quantity demanded. This is the effect. Second one, the nature of demand indicates that as the price of the good increases, the buyers will desire to purchase less of the good. Okay. Question 3. Economists refer to the relationship that a higher price leads to a lower quantity demanded. This is called the law of demand. Now we have these three graphs here. This one's the first one is D1. Let this be the initial graph. So I'll say this one is the initial demand curve here. And it says a shift to D2, it indicate what? So the demand curve is shifting to the right. This is called an increase in demand. This is not an increase in quantity demanded. So we are going to have an increase in quantity demanded or a decrease in quantity demanded only when the price changes. When the price do not change, we are not going to use the word quantity because here the price is not changing. Here we just have a shift of the demand curve. This can be because one of the determinants of demand we talked about in the lectures. This is called an increase in demand. Question number 5. We are looking at the demand curve D0. It says a change from point A to B. What's going on here? Looks like the price is changing. Let's say at point A, the price is $5. The quantity is 100. That's at point A. At point B, say the price is $6 and the quantity is equal to 80. So price increases. That means we are going to have a decrease in quantity demanded. I use the word quantity here because this is related to an increase in price because the cause price changed. Question 6. According to law of supply, there is a direct relation between price and quantity supplied. This is how my supply curve looks like. This is the price, this is the quantity supplied. So the price is $1, quantity supplied is 10 units. Price goes up to $2, quantity supplied is 20 units. We see as price is increasing, quantity supplied is also increasing. So here we have a direct relationship. All right, question 7. Here we are looking at a determinant of either demand or supply. If new manufacturers enter the computer industry, so we are talking about sellers. When we talk about sellers, that means we are looking at the supply curve. the supply curve is going to shift to the right. So this one's by initial supply curve here. More sellers entering the market. The supply curve is going to shift to the right. Okay. Now we are going to be looking at question number 8. When something happens, a farm will supply a higher quantity at any given price, and the supply curve will shift to the right. Not this one, neither that one, not this one. Population is related to the demand curve. This is going to be C, cost of production falls, or from your PowerPoints, when input prices or resource prices falls, the supply curve is going to shift to the right. Okay. So that's going to be the answer to question number 8. Now let's move on to question number 9. It says, a severe freeze has once again damaged the Florida orange crop. The impact on the market is going to be a leftward shift of the supply curve. We do not really know what happens to the demand curve here. So we can't really comment on the demand curve without knowing what will the buyers do. But definitely here the supply curve is going to shift to the left because the quantity of oranges is going to go down as the freeze definitely damaged the orange crop. Okay. Moving to question number 10, which of the following will reduce the supply of microcomputers? Technological improvements is no. Technological improvements would increase the supply of microcomputers, but here it's telling us what reduces the supply of microcomputers. That means if this is a supply curve here, this is going to shift to the left. Higher wages. So this is the answer here. Neither this nor that. Higher wages means increase in input prices. That means here we are looking at our labor input. Price of labor is increasing. That means wages are going to go up. When wages increases, supply curve will shift to the left. Next one, we have beer and pizza. They're complements to each other. Price of beer decreases. All right, let's draw it this way. Let this be the demand curve for beer. That's the quantity of beer. That's the price of beer. Price of beer. A bottle is $3. People are going to buy just a bottle of beer. Say the price of beer decreases from $3 to $1.50. People are going to buy 2 bottles of beer. So basically, we have the law of demand that's working here, and that is increasing the quantity demanded for beer. Now, what happens to the demand for pizza? Notice that nothing happened to the price of pizza. So the price of pizza is not changing. Say this one is the initial demand for pizza. Because people are going to drink more beer, they are also going to eat more pizza because beer and pizza are complements. This is going to shift the demand curve for pizza to the right. That means the demand for pizza, this went up. We do not say the quantity demanded for pizza went up because nothing happened to the price of pizza. Only the price of beer went down. Over here, definitely we say the quantity demanded. These are quite important distinctions. Quantity demanded for beer, this went up. But when we are looking at pizza, we say the demand for pizza went up because the demand curve shifted to the right or increased. Okay. Now we are moving on to question 12. Is telling me a change from point A to point E represents what? So at point A, we are on supply curve is 0. Point E, we are on supply curve is 2. So the supply curve has shifted to the left. That means there is a decrease in supply. If we move from point A to point D instead, say we move from point A on is 0 to point D on S1. This is not the question here, but this might be a case. We would say the supply has increased or there is an increase in supply. Okay. Now, question 13 is telling me a change from point A to point D. Right, represents what? Yes, point A to point D. I just went over this. There is an increase in supply. Now we have a change from point A to point B. Okay. So point A to point B, we are on supply curve is 0. Let me draw this here. So this is supply curve is 0 here. We move from point A to point B. This is the price. This is the quantity. Let the price be equal to $4. Quantity be equal to 40. That's the equilibrium that's the quantity rather. So point B, the price is 5. Quantity supplied is 50. I would say because the price went up, the quantity supplied went up. There is an increase in quantity supplied. So price and quantity, we use these two in the same sentence. Price goes up, quantity supplied goes up. This is called the law of supply. Okay. Now, moving on to question number 15. This is a question on, let me see. This is a question on price ceiling. So here we have a question on price ceiling, and looks like the equilibrium price is $11 and equilibrium quantity is 400 because quantity demanded equal to quantity supplied at 400. Now the question is asking, the college introduces a minimum wage of $11.50 an hour. Sorry, this is basically a question on price floor. So how many students are employed and how many want to work at campus venue but can't find a job? Looks like at 11:50 quantity supplied is 450 but quantity demanded is only 300. So I'm going to say this one is 450, quantity demanded is 300, and how many students want to work and how many students are employed. 300 students are employed, that's equal to the quantity demanded. How many students want to work but can't find a job? This is going to be 450 minus 300, that's equal to 150. 150 students are unemployed. Okay, and because this is a minimum wage of $11.50, we can't really go down to $11. So if I try to draw this here, this is quantity, this is price, this is my demand curve, this one's the supply curve. Now this is $11, this one is 400. That's the equilibrium price and quantity combination. Now we have a price floor at 1150. At 1150, quantity supplied is 450, quantity demanded is 300. So we have surplus workers here. This is going to cause a surplus. Okay. Now, the thing about price floor, we can't go below the floor price, but definitely we can come above the floor price. Minimum wages, when they talk about minimum wages, they are definitely talking about a price floor. Okay. Now the last question here, where we have a price ceiling. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. My equilibrium price here is gonna be $6 because that is where the demand curve is intersecting the supply. Now let's see here. This one's my equilibrium price right now. Equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity is 99. Equilibrium price and quantity we get where the demand curve intersects the supply curve. But now we have a selling price of 550 and this selling price is below the equilibrium price, which is $6. Let's say where this is cutting the demand curve and supply curve. Cutting the demand curve at 100, cutting the supply curve at 97.5. So here we have quantity demanded greater than quantity supplied. This is going to be a shortage. Shortage is equal to quantity demanded minus quantity supplied. This is equal to 2.5. All right, these are all the questions which you just need to understand. And that will be all. Thank you very much.